Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the UE's Leviathan and watched the stars ahead. The massive ship moved through space like a silent giant. It was 15 kilometers long and shaped like a metal mountain. The hull was dark gray and covered with weapons that could destroy entire cities. Jake had been captain for 5 years now. He was 42 years old with short brown hair and calm blue eyes. His crew trusted him because he always stayed cool under pressure. Today felt different, though. Today they might meet aliens for the first time. "Captain, we are getting close to the target area," said Commander Lisa Carter. She was his second in command and the best tactical officer he had ever worked with. Lisa was 38 with red hair tied back in a tight bun. She never missed anything that happened around their ship. "How far out are we?" Jake asked. 2 hours until we reach the edge of the Kepler 442 system," Lisa replied. "Long-range sensors are picking up something big near the fourth planet." Dr. Sam Peterson looked up from his science station. Sam was a tall man with glasses who knew more about alien life than anyone else on Earth. He had spent his whole career studying signals from space and dreaming of this moment. "Captain, I am seeing structures that are definitely not natural," Sam said with excitement in his voice. "The readings show metal and energy signatures. This has to be an alien space station." Jake felt his heart beat faster. After 200 years of humans spreading across the galaxy, they had finally found proof that other intelligent life existed. Earth had sent the Leviathan to check out strange signals from this system. Nobody expected to find an actual alien base. "Lieutenant Ben Harper, are you picking up any communications?" Jake asked. Ben was young and very good with computers and radio signals. He was only 25, but could speak 12 human languages and understand complex alien transmissions better than machines could. "Yes, sir. I am getting lots of chatter," Ben said. "The signals are coming from multiple sources across 3 different star systems. They are using some kind of quantum communication network. I cannot understand the language yet, but the signal patterns suggest they are very excited about something." Chief Engineer Kate Williams checked her displays and frowned. Kate was in charge of all the new technology that made the Leviathan so powerful. She was 40 and had helped design the ship's quantum weapons and adaptive shields. "Captain, their energy readings are much lower than I expected," Kate said. "Their technology seems to be at least 50 years behind ours, maybe more. Our ship probably looks like magic to them." Jake walked to the main view screen and stared at the alien station growing larger ahead of them. It was a strange design with curved metal arms reaching out from a central hub. Lights blinked along its surface in patterns that seemed almost like a heartbeat. "Atlas, what do you think?" Jake asked the ship's computer. The artificial intelligence named Atlas had a calm female voice. "Captain, based on my analysis of their technology and construction methods, these aliens have been focused on trade and peaceful activities. I detect no military vessels or weapons platforms in this system. Their reaction to our arrival suggests they may not have experience with ships like ours." Dr. Peterson was studying his readings more carefully now. "Captain, I think we have a problem. The alien communications are spreading across their network very fast. The signal patterns match what we would expect from emergency broadcasts." "Emergency broadcasts?" Jake asked. "Yes, sir. I think they are warning each other about us. Our ship might look like a threat to them." Jake thought about this. The Leviathan was built for war. It carried enough firepower to level planets and shields that could stop almost any attack. To peaceful aliens, it would look like an invasion force. "How many aliens are we talking about?" Jake asked. Sam checked his long-range sensors. "I am detecting at least 3 different species based on the signal types, maybe more. And Captain, their communication network reaches dozens of star systems. Word about us is spreading fast." Ben suddenly looked up from his station with wide eyes. Captain, I just translated part of their transmission. They are calling us the Metal Leviathan. They think we are here to conquer them. Lisa stepped closer to Jake. Sir, should we slow down or change course? We do not want to start an interstellar war by accident. Jake looked around at his crew. These were good people who had trained their whole lives for this moment. Earth was counting on them to make peaceful contact with alien civilizations. But their ship was designed to win battles, not make friends. No, we keep our course, Jake decided. But we go slow and careful. Ben, try to send them a message. Tell them we come in peace. I will try, sir, but their language is very complex. Kate checked her weapon systems. Captain, all weapons are powered down and locked. Our shields are on minimum power. We are doing everything we can to look peaceful. That may not be enough, Dr. Peterson said quietly. To them, we probably look like the most dangerous thing they have ever seen. Jake nodded. He understood the problem. Humans had built the Leviathan to protect Earth from unknown threats in space. Instead, they had become the threat that other species feared. Then we will have to prove them wrong, Jake said. We came here to explore and learn, not to conquer. Somehow we need to make them understand that. The alien station was getting closer now. Jake could see smaller ships moving around it, like insects around a hive. Soon they would be face to face with beings from another world. Everything that happened next would change the galaxy forever. Jake took a deep breath and prepared for the most important conversation in human history. The emergency meeting on Harmony Prime had never seen anything like this before. Representatives from 47 different alien species filled the Great Hall. The air was thick with tension as creatures of all shapes and sizes discussed the approaching human ship. Hive Queen Zara of the Zephyrians clicked her mandibles nervously. She was 12 feet tall, with 4 arms and a hard shell that gleamed like black metal. Her insect-like species had ruled their corner of the galaxy for 3,000 years, but they had never seen a warship like the human vessel. The metal giant is 15,000 meters long, she said in her clicking voice. Our largest ships are only 2,000 meters. What kind of species builds something so massive? Crystalline speaker Vorth of the Vortani pulsed with blue light. As he spoke, his people were made of living crystal and communicated through light patterns. Our deep space sensors show the human ship has energy readings beyond anything in our database. Their shields alone use more power than our entire own. Fleet, the energy being called Nexus 7, floated above the assembly. The Nexari had no solid form, appearing as glowing clouds of conscious energy. We have analyzed their weapon signatures from long range. The destruction potential is enormous. This single ship could sterilize multiple worlds. Elder Grix of the peaceful Altarians raised his webbed hand. The blue-skinned amphibians were known as the galaxy's best diplomats. Perhaps we should try to communicate with them before we assume hostile intent. They have not attacked anyone yet. Hive Queen. Zara's compound eyes glowed red with anger. They sent a warship as their first contact vessel. That tells us everything we need to know about their intentions. On the human ship, Captain Jake Morrison was learning just how much fear the Leviathan was causing. Lieutenant Ben Harper had managed to decode more alien transmissions, and the news was not good. Captain, I am picking up massive fleet movements, Ben reported. At least 6 different species are moving their military ships toward defensive positions around their home worlds. Dr. Sam Peterson studied the communications data. The translation software is getting better. They keep using words that mean destroyer, invasion, and metal death. They are definitely scared of us. Jake felt a weight on his shoulders. Earth had sent him to make friends, but instead he was starting a galaxy-wide panic. The situation was getting worse by the hour. Any word from Earth? Jake asked. Admiral Rachel Stone sent a message 6 hours ago, Commander Lisa Carter replied. She is sending Ambassador Paul Hughes on a fast courier ship. He should arrive in 3 days. Jake nodded. Paul Hughes was Earth's first xenodiplomat, trained specifically for alien contact. But 3 days might be too long if the aliens decided. To attack First Chief Engineer Kate Williams looked up from her engineering reports. Captain, I have been analyzing the alien technology we can scan from here. Their ships use fusion reactors and plasma weapons. We stopped using that technology 50 years ago. How far behind are they? Jake asked. In terms of military technology, they seem to be where humans were around 2320. Their ships are tough, but slow. Their weapons are powerful, but short range. They have nothing that can match our quantum systems. Dr. Peterson frowned at his readings. That might explain why they are so frightened. To them, our technology must seem impossible. The bridge was quiet for a moment as everyone thought about this. Humans had advanced so quickly because Earth was a dangerous world. Constant wars and competition had pushed human technology forward at an incredible pace. These aliens seemed to have lived in peace for so long that they had stopped improving their weapons. Captain, Ben said suddenly, I am getting a transmission from the alien station. It is in multiple languages, but I think they are trying to talk to us. Put it on speaker, Jake ordered, a mix of clicking, musical tones, and electronic pulses. Filled the bridge. After a few minutes, the ship's translation computer began converting the sounds into words. Unknown vessel, you have entered the Kepler trade zone without permission. State your purpose and origin immediately. Be warned that this system is under the protection of the Galactic Trade Network. Jake looked at his crew. This was it. First, contact between humans and aliens. Ben, open a channel and record my response. Channel open, sir. Jake spoke slowly and clearly. This is Captain Jake Morrison of the Earthship U.E.'s Leviathan. We come from the planet Earth in the Sol system. We come in peace and wish to establish friendly relations with your people. They waited for a response. When it came, the alien voices sounded even more nervous than before. Earthship, your vessel appears to be a military dreadnought of unknown design. Why do you approach our peaceful trade station with such a massive warship? Jake realized the problem. To make peaceful contact, humans had sent their most advanced ship. But to the aliens, the Leviathan looked like an invasion force. We sent our best ship to show respect for your civilization, Jake replied. The Leviathan is our finest vessel, but we come only to learn and make friends. There was a long pause before the aliens responded. Earthship, we are forwarding your message to the Trade Network Council. Please maintain your current position and make no aggressive moves while they decide how to respond. The channel closed, leaving the bridge in silence. Well, that could have gone better, Lisa said. Dr. Peterson was studying his sensors again. Captain, the alien fleets are still moving into defensive positions. I count over 200 ships mobilizing across 3 star systems. They are not taking any chances. Kate checked her tactical displays. Our shields and weapons are still powered down to minimum levels. We are doing everything we can to appear non-threatening. It might not be enough, Jake said. To them, we probably look like the most dangerous thing they have ever encountered. Ben was monitoring alien communications. Captain, the news about us is spreading across their entire network. I am detecting emergency broadcasts from dozens of worlds. They are evacuating some civilian populations. Jake felt sick. First contact was supposed to be a moment of wonder and discovery. Instead, they had terrified an entire galaxy just by showing up. Sir, Lisa said quietly, what if they decide to attack us before we can explain our peaceful intentions? Jake looked at the view screen showing the alien station ahead. Smaller ships were moving around it in defensive patterns. In the distance, he could see the lights of approaching alien fleets. "Then we will have to defend ourselves," Jake said. "But we will not fire first, no matter what happens. We came here to make peace, and that is what we are going to do." The next few hours would determine whether humanity joined the galactic community as friends or enemies. Jake prayed that wisdom would win over fear before it was too late. 3 days later, the situation had grown much worse. Captain Jake Morrison watched as alien warships filled the space around them. 200 vessels from 6 different species had formed a massive blockade around the UES Leviathan. Ambassador Paul Hughes had arrived just in time to witness the standoff. He was a calm man in his 50s with gray hair and patient eyes. Paul had spent years preparing for first contact, but nothing had prepared him for this level of fear and hostility. "Captain, the alien fleet is hailing us," Lieutenant Ben Harper reported. "Put them through," Jake said. The main screen flickered to life, showing multiple alien faces. Hive Queen Zara's insect features dominated the center, flanked by the glowing crystal form of Speaker Vorth and the energy cloud of Nexus 7. "Human vessel." Zara clicked angrily. "You have ignored our warnings and continued to advance into our territory. This fleet represents the combined military might of the Galactic Trade Network. We demand that you leave immediately." Ambassador Hughes stepped forward. "I am Ambassador Paul Hughes, representing the government of Earth. We have come here in peace to establish diplomatic relations. We mean no harm to your people. Your words speak of peace, but your actions say otherwise." Speaker Vorth pulsed with angry red light. "You brought a dreadnought to make first contact. No peaceful species would do such a thing." "Commander Lisa," Carter whispered to Jake, "Sir, their weapons are powering up. All 200 ships are targeting us." Jake felt the weight of history on his shoulders. Everything that happened in the next few minutes would determine the future of human-alien relations. "We understand your concerns," Paul said to the aliens. "Perhaps we can arrange a meeting on neutral ground to discuss this peacefully." Nexus 7's energy form pulsed with agitation. "There will be no meetings until you withdraw your warship from our space. You have 1 hour to comply, or we will be forced to defend ourselves." The transmission ended, leaving the bridge in tense silence. Dr. Sam Peterson looked up from his science station. "Captain, their weapons are primitive, but there are a lot of them. Even our shields might not hold up against a concentrated attack from 200 ships. What are our options?" Jake asked. Lieutenant Maya Rodriguez, the tactical systems operator, checked her displays. "Sir, we could easily destroy their entire fleet with our quantum disruptors. But that would prove we are exactly the threat they think we are." Chief Engineer Kate Williams studied her power readings. "Our shields can absorb their plasma weapons without any problem. The real question is whether we can prove we are peaceful without showing our full military strength." Jake thought carefully. The aliens were afraid because they thought humans were conquerors. If the Leviathan destroyed their fleet, even in self-defense, it would confirm their worst fears. "Paul, what do you think?" Jake asked the ambassador. "We need to show them that we are not a threat," Paul replied. "But we also cannot appear weak. These species respect strength, but they fear overwhelming power." Dr. Tony Brooks, the quantum physics specialist, had an idea. "Captain, what if we demonstrate our defensive capabilities instead of our weapons? We could show them that we do not need to attack because we cannot be hurt." Jake considered this. "Explain." "We let them attack us first. Our shields will absorb everything they can throw at us. Then we fire a single warning shot to show our power, but aim at something harmless like an asteroid." Lisa frowned. "That is risky, sir. If our shields fail, we could lose the ship." Kate shook her head. our adaptive shields are designed to handle. Much worse than plasma cannons. The bigger risk is that they might see our survival as proof that we are too dangerous to live. Ben was monitoring alien communications. Sirs, I am picking up their military chatter. They are coordinating a simultaneous attack on our position. All ships will fire at the same time to overwhelm our defenses. Jake made his decision. All hands, battle stations. Shields to maximum power, but do not charge weapons yet. We are going to let them shoot first. Sir? Lisa asked with surprise. They need to see that we cannot be destroyed by conventional weapons. Once they understand that, maybe they will be willing to talk instead of fight. The bridge crew took their positions as the alien fleet moved into attack formation. Jake could see the plasma cannons and particle beam weapons rotating to target. The Leviathan. Incoming transmission, Ben reported. Hive Queen Zara appeared on screen one last time. Human ship, this is your final warning. Leave now or face the consequences. Jake stood up straight and looked directly at the insect queen. We will not leave, and we will not attack you. But we will defend ourselves if necessary. Zara's compound eyes blazed with anger. Then you have chosen your fate. The transmission ended. Moments later, the space around the Leviathan lit up with weapons fire. 200 alien ships opened fire at the same time, filling the void with streams of plasma and particle beams. The Leviathan's adaptive shields absorbed every shot. The energy weapons struck the barrier around the ship and simply disappeared, converted into harmless light and heat. Not a single blast reached the hull. Shields holding at 98%, Kate reported calmly. Their weapons are not even straining our defensive grid. The alien attack continued for 5 minutes. Every ship in their fleet poured fire into the human vessel, but the Leviathan sat motionless and undamaged in the center of the energy storm. Captain, they are stopping, Lisa reported. I think they have run out of ammunition. The weapon's fire died away, leaving the space eerily quiet. Jake could imagine the shock and fear on the alien ships as they realized their combined firepower had not even scratched the human vessel. Now we show them what we could do if we wanted to, Jake said. Tony, charge the forward quantum disruptor to 1% power. Target that asteroid at coordinates 127 Mark 85. Asteroid targeted, sir. 1% power, charged and ready. Fire. A thin beam of blue energy shot out from the Leviathan and struck the asteroid 50 kilometers away. The rock simply vanished, converted to energy, and dispersed into space. The only sign it had, ever, existed was a brief flash of light. The effect on the alien fleet was immediate. Emergency signals flooded the communications channels as ship after ship began withdrawing from the battle zone. Captain, I am detecting retreat orders across their entire fleet, Ben reported. They are calling for immediate evacuation of the system. Dr. Peterson watched his sensors as the alien ships scattered in all directions. The energy signature from our weapon shot is spreading across the system. Every ship and station in the area can see what we just did. Ambassador Hughes looked pale. We just demonstrated that we could vaporize their entire fleet with a single shot. This might make them even more afraid of us. Jake realized the problem. They had proven they could not be hurt, but they had also shown that they could destroy anything they wanted to. To the aliens, humans now seemed like invincible conquerors. Ben, open a channel to all ships in the system, Jake ordered. Channel open, sir. Jake spoke to the fleeing alien fleet. This is Captain Morrison. We did not come here to conquer or destroy. We came to learn and make friends. The demonstration you just saw was meant to show you that we do not need to fight. We are strong enough to defend ourselves, so we have no reason to attack you. He paused, choosing his words carefully. We know you are afraid, but fear leads to war, and war helps no one. We ask for a chance to prove that humans can be trusted. Give us time to show you who we really are." The channel remained open, but no alien ship responded. One by one, they jumped to hyperspace and disappeared, leaving the Leviathan alone with the abandoned trade station. "Well," Paul said quietly, "that could have gone better." Jake stared at the empty space where the alien fleet had been. They had avoided a battle, but they had also terrified an entire galaxy. Making peace would be much harder now that everyone knew how powerful human weapons really were. The emergency session on Harmony Prime was chaos. Representatives from dozens of alien species shouted and argued in the Great Hall. Fear filled the air like a toxic cloud as reports came in from across the galaxy. Hive Queen Zara stood at the center of the assembly, her 4 arms gesturing wildly as she spoke. "I saw it with my own eyes. 200 warships fired everything they had at the human vessel. Our weapons did nothing. Nothing at all." Speaker Vorth pulsed with urgent red light. "Then they destroyed an asteroid 50 kilometers away with a single shot. The energy readings were beyond anything we have ever recorded. One human ship has more firepower than our entire combined fleets." Elder Grix of the Altarians tried to calm the crowd. "Perhaps we should consider negotiation before we assume the worst about these humans." "Negotiation?" Zara clicked angrily. "They came to our peaceful trade zone with a dreadnought. They ignored our warnings and demonstrated weapons that could sterilize worlds. What more proof do we need of their intentions?" Nexus 7 floated above the assembly, his energy form pulsing with worry. Emergency protocols have been activated across 17 star systems. Civilian populations are being evacuated from border worlds. The galactic economy is collapsing as trade routes shut down. On Earth, President Linda Foster sat in the emergency session of the Global Council. The holographic displays showed the panic spreading across known space as alien civilizations prepared for war. "How bad is the situation?" she asked Admiral Rachel Stone. "Very bad, Madam President," Rachel replied. She was a tough woman with short gray hair who had commanded Earth's space forces for 20 years. "We are detecting massive military buildups in at least 6 different star systems. Ancient defense pacts are being activated. Species that have been enemies for centuries are joining forces against us." General Alex Turner leaned forward. He was the military advisor to the Earth government and had helped design the Titan-class warships. "Our intelligence suggests they are planning a coordinated attack. They believe that destroying the Leviathan will send a message to Earth about the consequences of expansion." President Foster rubbed her temples. "How could first contact go so wrong? We sent our best ship with our best people to make friends." "The problem is that we sent a warship," Admiral Stone explained. "To us, the Leviathan represents our finest achievement. To them, it looks like an invasion force." Dr. Helen Wright spoke up from her position at the conference table. She was Earth's leading expert on interspecies psychology. "Based on the alien communications we have decoded, they experienced a devastating war against artificial intelligences about 10,000 years ago. That trauma has shaped their entire civilization. Advanced technology terrifies them because it reminds them of the machines that nearly destroyed them." General Turner studied the tactical displays. "Madam President, I recommend we send the rest of the Titan fleet to support Captain Morrison. If they want to fight, we should be prepared." "No," President Foster said firmly. "Sending more warships will only make the situation worse. We need to find another way." "And what do you suggest?" Admiral Stone asked. Dr. Wright had been studying the alien psychology reports. "We need to prove that we are not like the machines they fought long ago. We need to show them that humans can control our technology and use it to protect, rather than destroy." Back on the Leviathan, Captain Jake Morrison was dealing with his own problems. The ship's sensors were detecting alien fleet movements across multiple star systems as various species prepared for war. Dr. Sam Peterson looked up from his science station with worry in his eyes. Captain, I am reading massive energy buildups in the Zephyrian home system. They are constructing something big. Chief Engineer Kate Williams checked her tactical displays. Long-range scans show the Vortani are weaponizing their crystal ships for the first time in their recorded history. They are turning their entire civilization into a military force. Commander Lisa Carter studied the fleet movement reports. Sir, the Nexari have begun possessing alien technology to create hybrid war machines. They are preparing weapons that combine energy beings with solid matter. Lieutenant Ben Harper was monitoring communications from across the galaxy. Captain, I am picking up coordination signals between species that have never worked together before. They are forming the largest military alliance in galactic history. Ambassador Paul Hughes looked pale as he read the diplomatic reports. Jake, we are facing a united galaxy. Every major civilization is preparing to attack Earth's colonies. They see us as an existential threat that must be stopped. Jake felt the weight of responsibility crushing down on him. How many ships are we talking about? Conservative estimates suggest they could field over 5,000 warships, Lisa replied. Even with our technology advantage, those numbers could overwhelm us. Dr. Tony Brooks was analyzing the alien fleet compositions. Captain, they are not just preparing to fight the Leviathan. They are mobilizing for a full invasion of human space. They want to strike at Earth itself. Jake realized that first contact had triggered the largest war in galactic history. Any word from Earth Command? Admiral Stone is sending 12 more Titan-class ships to our position, Lisa reported. But they will not arrive for 3 days. Paul shook his head. Sending more warships will only confirm their fears about human intentions. We need a different approach. Ben suddenly looked up from his communication station. Captain, I am getting a transmission from an unknown source. The signal is coming from a small ship approaching our position. Put it on screen, Jake ordered. The view screen showed a small alien vessel approaching slowly with its weapons powered down. Inside, they could see a figure in environmental armor. Human ship, this is Captain Roy Mitchell of the refugee transport. Sanctuary. I am carrying families from 3 different species who were evacuated from the border worlds. My ship is damaged and my passengers are injured. I request permission to approach for humanitarian assistance. Jake was confused. Roy Mitchell? That is a human name. The figure on screen removed his helmet, revealing a middle-aged human man with tired eyes. I am Captain Roy Mitchell, formerly of the Earth Merchant Marine. I have been living among the aliens for 15 years as part of a cultural exchange program. Most of my passengers have never seen humans before, but they have heard the stories about our warship. Paul stepped forward. Captain Mitchell, this is Ambassador Hughes. What? Is the condition of your passengers? Critical, sir. We have Altarian children with radiation poisoning, Vortani crystals that are fracturing from stress, and Nexari energy beings who are losing cohesion. They need medical attention that only human technology can provide. Jake made his decision. Immediately. Permission granted. Dock with our medical bay. Kate checked her systems. Captain, if we help them, we will have to lower our shields and power up our medical facilities. The aliens might see this as a sign of weakness. Or they might see it as a sign that we actually care about their people, Jake replied. Ben, broadcast our actions on all alien communication channels. Let them see what we are really here for. As the damaged ship docked with the Leviathan, alien refugees began transferring to the human medical facilities. Dr. Peterson and his team worked frantically to save lives using advanced human medicine. The alien children looked up at their human doctors with wide, frightened eyes. But as the humans healed their injuries and eased their pain, fear began to change into wonder. "Captain," Ben reported, "the alien communication networks are broadcasting footage of our medical teams helping the refugees. Some of the military fleet commanders are starting to ask questions about human intentions." Jake watched the rescued. Aliens being treated in their medical bay. This is what first contact should have been about. Not showing our weapons, but showing our compassion. Paul nodded. This might be our chance to prove that humans are not the monsters they think we are. But even as they saved alien lives, the massive enemy fleets continued to gather in the darkness of space, preparing for a war that could destroy both humans and aliens alike. Captain Jake Morrison stood in the medical bay of the UES Leviathan, watching human doctors work alongside alien refugees. The young Altarian children who had been dying from radiation poisoning were now playing with floating toys that Dr. Sam Peterson had created for them. Their blue skin glowed with health, instead of the sickly gray color they had shown when they arrived. A small Vortani crystal being named Shimmer approached Jake cautiously. Her crystalline body pulsed with soft yellow light as she spoke in her musical voice. "Captain Morrison, why do you help us? Your people and mine are about to go to war." Jake knelt down so he was at eye level with the crystal child. "Because that is what humans do. We help those who need it, no matter who they are." 3 days had passed since the rescue, and the galaxy was still preparing for war. But something had changed. The footage of humans saving alien lives was spreading across the galactic communication networks faster than the military propaganda. Lieutenant Ben Harper looked up from his communication station. "Captain, I am getting reports from across the galaxy. Some alien worlds are refusing to send their fleets to attack us. They are questioning whether humans are really the threat their leaders claim we are." Commander Lisa Carter checked her tactical displays. "The Earth fleet has arrived, sir. 12 Titan-class warships just dropped out of hyperspace." Jake felt both relief and worry. The additional ships would help defend against the alien forces, but they might also restart the panic that had been slowly calming down. "Ben, open a channel to all ships in the system, human and alien," Jake ordered. "Channel open, sir." Jake spoke clearly and calmly. "This is Captain Morrison of the UES Leviathan. The Earth ships that just arrived are here to protect the medical mission we have undertaken. We have alien refugees aboard who still need care, and we will not abandon them." He paused, looking around the medical bay at the humans and aliens working together. "I want everyone to see what is happening here. Humans and aliens can work together. We can help each other. We can be friends instead of enemies." Ambassador Paul Hughes joined Jake at the communication station. "This is Ambassador Hughes. I am authorized by the Earth government to negotiate a peaceful solution to this crisis. We invite representatives from all species to meet with us on the neutral station at Harmony Prime." The response came quickly from an unexpected source. Elder Grix of the Altarians appeared on the main screen. Behind him stood several other alien leaders, including some who had been calling for war just days before. "Captain Morrison, Ambassador Hughes, we have watched your actions over the past 3 days. The children you saved are from my homeworld. Their families have asked me to speak for them." Elder Grix's voice was emotional as he continued. "You could have left our people to die. You could have used your superior weapons to force us to accept your presence. Instead, you risked your own safety to help those who needed it most." Jake felt hope growing in his chest. "Elder Grix, we want to be friends with all the species of the galaxy. We have much to learn from each other." Speaker Vorth of the Vortani pulsed with blue light as he joined the conversation. "The crystal children you healed have told us about human medical technology. You have shared knowledge that will help our entire species. This is not the action, of conquerors. But then Hive Queen Zara's angry voice cut through the hopeful mood. Do not be fooled by their tricks. They are trying to make us weak with false kindness. Their warships still threaten our worlds. Jake realized that fear was still winning over hope in many alien minds. He needed to do something dramatic to prove human intentions once and for all. Computer, activate the shield projection system, Jake ordered. Chief Engineer Kate Williams looked surprised. Sir, that system has never been tested at this range. Then we are about to find out if it works, Jake replied. The Leviathan's massive. Generators hummed to life as energy flowed through systems that had been designed for planetary defense. Jake had an idea that might change everything. Ben, are you tracking the solar flare heading toward the refugee convoy in Sector 7? Yes. Sir, it will hit them in 20 minutes. Their ships do not have enough shielding to survive. Jake smiled. Then we are going to show the galaxy what human technology is really for. The Leviathan moved toward the refugee convoy, which consisted of ships from multiple alien species. The solar flare was a massive wave of radiation that would kill everyone aboard the smaller vessels. Kate, project our defensive shields around the entire convoy. Use everything we have. The human ship positioned itself between the refugee convoy and the approaching solar storm. Then something amazing happened. A glowing energy field expanded from the Leviathan, growing larger and larger until it surrounded all the alien ships. Shield. Projection successful, Kate reported. We are protecting 47 alien ships with our defensive grid. The solar flare hit moments later. The massive wave of deadly radiation struck the energy barrier and was harmlessly deflected into space. Inside the protective bubble, the alien refugees watched in amazement as the human ship absorbed punishment from a star itself to keep them safe. Dr. Peterson monitored the alien communications during the event. Captain, they are broadcasting this across the entire galaxy. Every species can see humans using their most powerful technology not to destroy, but to protect. When the solar storm passed, Jake opened communication channels to the protected convoy. This is what human strength is for. We do not build powerful ships to conquer others. We build them to defend those who cannot defend themselves. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Ship after ship from the convoy sent messages of gratitude. Even more importantly, the military fleets that had been gathering to attack human space began to stand down. Elder Grix appeared on screen again, but this time his expression was completely different. Captain Morrison, you have risked your own ship to save our people from a natural disaster. No species focused on conquest would make such a sacrifice. Hive Queen Zara was the last holdout, but even she seemed shaken by what she had witnessed. Your actions, they remind us of the ancient protectors who defended the galaxy long ago, before the machine war, before we learned to fear advanced technology. Dr. Helen Wright, who had arrived with the Earth fleet, stepped forward. Your Grace, we have studied the history of the machine war from your data archives. Humans faced a similar threat 300 years ago. We learned to control our technology instead of being controlled by it. Ambassador Hughes seized the moment. We propose a new arrangement. Humans will serve as protectors of the galaxy, using our advanced technology to defend against threats that your individual species cannot handle alone. In return, we ask only for friendship and the chance to learn from your cultures. Speaker Vorth pulsed with curious light. What would you want from such an arrangement? Jake answered honestly, knowledge. Your people have existed in peace for thousands of years. You understand cooperation and diplomacy in ways that humans are still learning. We have the strength to protect the galaxy, but we need your wisdom to use that strength properly. The negotiations that followed took place over several weeks on Harmony Prime. The result was the Galactic Protection Treaty. which established humanity as the galaxy's defense force while creating councils of alien species to guide human actions. Captain Jake Morrison was promoted to Admiral and given command of the new Galactic Security Force. The Leviathan became the flagship of a mixed fleet with human technology and alien crews working together. The first test of the new alliance came 6 months later when an ancient, automated weapon left over from the machine war activated in a distant star system. The combined human-alien fleet destroyed the threat in a matter of hours, proving that cooperation was stronger than fear. Dr. Sam Peterson stood on the bridge of the Leviathan, now serving as the ship's diplomatic officer as well as chief scientist. He watched a group of young humans and aliens working together at the navigation station, planning their next mission to explore unknown regions of the galaxy. "You know what the best part is?" Sam said to Admiral Morrison. "What is that?" Jake asked. "They are not afraid of each other anymore. Human children and alien children are growing up together, learning from each other. The galaxy is not just safer now, it is becoming something better than any of our species could have achieved alone." Jake nodded as he watched the mixed crew preparing for their next mission, the massive human warship that had once terrified. The galaxy was now its greatest source of hope and protection. On dozens of worlds, statues were being built showing humans and aliens working together. The inscription on each statue was the same, written in the languages of all the galaxy's species. Strength shared is strength multiplied. The galaxy had frozen in fear when humanity first arrived, but it had thawed into something warmer and stronger. The age of isolation was over. The age of cooperation had begun, and in the depths of space, other ancient machines slept in the darkness, waiting for the day when they might threaten the galaxy again. But now the galaxy was ready for them, protected by human strength and guided by alien wisdom. The stars themselves seemed brighter, as if they approved of what their children had accomplished together.